Welcome to the video, everyone. We're gonna be talking about the board columns. So, first of all, you go to the configure board, then you go for the columns. And what is important in here is that your columns need to be interconnected with your workflows. So, when you're creating a workflow, your workflow needs to be tied with your board columns. So the workflow, um, gets a value, if I can say it like that. So the first and foremost, what you're going to see in here is the this column constraint, right? So this is if you want to have a constraint within your column to say, let's say, for I want to see like to the maximum like five like issues, and basically that is it. I don't want to see more. And then you have like epic issues. To select how epic issues are displayed, the backlog must be enabled for Kanban boards. It must be enabled. As you can see right here, we actually don't have a backlog actually enabled in here. So the very first thing is what you're gonna have are some unmapped statuses, and these statuses won't be actually visible. So this is if you don't want to, you know, if you have some statuses that are not being useful, it is much wiser to just simply delete them from the workflow and not to use this at all. And then you have for the Kanban backlog, if you want to have, well, basically where you want to plan your team's work, right? And yes, the backlog is basically like it's a list of the prioritized items, the prioritized issues that need to be done, right? Then you have this difference between a Kanban and a Scrum. When in Scrum, you have the definition of the sprint backlog, where you basically, in the sprint planning, you defined which issues are going to be done within a certain sprint. And the Kanban backlog, it's not like that. Basically, like everything goes in a backlog, and you're planning everything out. So it's like you can imagine like a Scrum without sprints, if I can say that is going to be a Kanban. And the rest of the things, as you can see in here, are actually the columns themselves. You can actually add the columns, you can actually remove them. You can say if you don't want to have none of the constraints, this constraint right here gets removed. When you go back to your board in here, you're going to see that there's basically nothing in here. But if I go ahead and I say issue count, I say like 5, I go back to the board. As you can see, like here, it's highlighted because this column will be highlighted when the number of the issues exceeds this limit. So this means that this limit has been reached, and it's marked in red. So when something is marked in red, you need to pay attention to it and react based on that. So that is everything that you need to know about the columns. The important thing also is to map your columns with the statuses from your workflow. That is really important if you want to see the issues within your board. Of course, in Scrum it's a different thing, because you may like have everything ready you create an issue, and then what happens is that that issue is not being visible, and that issue is not being visible because you haven't started your sprint yet. When you start your sprint, these issues start to get visible, and you can add issues to that sprint, which actually is not really recommended because you're creating a scope creep in here, um, which is something that you do not want to have. You do only this if it's really, really necessary. Okay, there's everything that you needed to know about the board columns. I see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.